Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. I am Pamela Spencer. I'm the election official for Vineyard, and this is my deputy recorder, Kelly Klepfer, back here, and we also have Chelsea here helping us out from Utah Ranked Choice, right? Yes. Anyway, and so thank you for coming. So Vineyard chose to do ranked choice voting, which is also known as instant runoff voting. So in 2018, the Utah State Legislature passed House Bill 35 that established a pilot program in which cities can use the instant runoff voting. In 2019, the Utah State Legislature passed House Bill 277 to make amendments to that program. So what cities are participating? Vineyard and Payson are the only cities participating in the instant runoff voting pilot program for their 2019 municipal elections. So what is instant runoff voting? That's what we're here for, right? So seeing as ballots are in the mail, we're going to answer some questions that you might have. So instant runoff voting, it's an efficient, fair means to elect candidates by a majority vote in one election. So they do need to win by 50% plus one of the votes. It also eliminates the need for a primary election, so it creates a condensed election. So what are the questions that, so how do you mark your ballot? So here we have our sample ballot for our candidates that are running right now. So you are going to, so the ranked choice ballot card is designed in a side-by-side column format and lists the names of all of the candidates. The format allows a voter to select a first choice candidate in the first column, a second choice candidate in the second column, and a third choice candidate in the third column, continuing until the voter is done ranking their preferred choices. So, because these ballots are read by computer, please make sure that you're filling in the oval completely and you're not marking it with an X or a check mark or anything like that. And please remember to turn your ballot over and vote on the wrap tax. So, the questions that you might have about ranked choice voting. If I want my first choice candidate to win, should I rank the candidates as my first, second, and third choice? No. Ranking a candidate more than once does not benefit the candidate. If a voter ranks one candidate as the voter's first, second, and third choice, it is the same as if the voter leaves the second or third choice blank. In other words, if the candidate is eliminated, that candidate is no longer eligible to receive second or third choice votes. Can I give candidates the same ranking? No. If a voter gives more than one candidate the same ranking, the vote cannot be counted. Only one candidate can represent the voter's first or second choice, and so on. The computer can't determine what your first choice was, so please don't give them all the same ranking. Can I write a candidate's name on my ballot in any column? Yes, in elections where there are qualified write-in candidates, there is a space provided to write in a name. Only qualified write-in candidates can receive votes, and there are no write-in candidates in the 2019 Vineyard municipal election. So there won't be space to write that in, just so you know. Does my vote still count if I only select one choice? Yes, your vote will count for your one choice. But remember, there are 2 council seats open this year, so you may want to mark at least more than one. Does my vote still count if I vote for the same candidate 3 times? Yes, but your vote will only count once for that candidate. So wherever you mark them first will be the one that will count. So we're going to have a little bit of fun now, and we're going to vote for our favorite pizza parlor right now. So Kelly and Chelsea are going to hand out pens and the ballots, and we're going to give you a few minutes to fill those out, and then she'll collect them again. I should give you a little clarification on this while you're doing that. We held early voting, so today is our official mock election day to vote for your favorite pizza parlor, and we're going to take those early voted ballots and your ballots, and we're going to add them together to make that determination of who our winner is for this pizza parlor election. Thank you. We will now watch a short video.
Vineyard is participating in a pilot program for ranked choice voting in the 2019 municipal election, the first of its kind in Utah. Ranked choice voting is different from traditional voting in that you rank the candidates on the ballot from your favorite to least favorite. Check it out. Let's say we're voting for one open spot on city council. The candidates are blue, green, orange, red, and yellow. This first column is one voter's ballot. Their first choice is blue, second green, third red, fourth yellow, and fifth orange. The second column represents a different voter's choices. Their first choice is red, second yellow, third blue, fourth green, and fifth orange. Each column here represents a different voter's ballot. After votes are completed, the candidate who receives more than 50% of first choice votes will be declared a winner. If no candidate receives more than 50% of first choice votes, then we will proceed to round by round ranked choice voting. As you can see here, blue received more than 50% of the votes in the first round, which means they are declared the winner. But what if we're running an election for 2 open city council spots? Here's how that would work. Because blue already won, we won't include them when counting the votes for the second position. In round 1 of counting for the second position, no other color has received more than 50% of the votes. We will proceed to round 2. At this point, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated. In this case, orange must be removed. Unlike traditional voting, with ranked choice voting, the votes for the eliminated candidate, orange, are transferred to the voter's next preferred candidate. By transferring the votes from orange to their second choice, green receives more than 50% of votes to win. And what if we're going to elect somebody for a third open spot on city council? Here, we'll add orange back in, because they didn't have enough votes to win the second spot, but still have a chance of winning a different open spot. Now, we start the ballot counting over again to fill the third spot. As you can see, red wins as the third color. So although the ballot looks different this year, it's simple now that you've learned how it works and why ranking your preferred candidates matters. Learn more at vineyardvotes.com.
Didn't move on. Sorry. So now we get to the fun part where you actually get to do your own counting. I have some packets put together there where we had staff vote for their favorite Utah university today. And then we did the tallying, but now you get to do your own tallying. We're going to let you run with that. So let me explain what you're going to do. You have a tally sheet. Each group has a tally sheet, and you're going to find out how many ballots you have first, and you're going to count those up. Then you're going to figure out what your total is, what your percentage plus 1 is you need in order to find a winner. Okay? And then you're going to sort them by their first choice. And then you will, if you don't have a winner yet, then you will take the lowest school that got the lowest votes, and you will take and redistribute those to the next choice. And then you will add that to it. And then you will, if you still don't have a winner, you're going to do the same thing by taking off the lowest vote getter and redistributing those to their next choice as well. So until you have a winner, okay? And then we'll talk about it when you're done. Because that way for your next piece, if you're gonna remove some of these choices, because they were the ones that better, and then you'll be able to distribute those.
So make piles like
Yeah, so my suggestion is, yeah. So before you move to the first one, and you will be, your review one, if not, leave a space. Just leave it, you can just leave a space, but you're reviewing, then you review. And it's just leave a space if you get come up with a different one. So that, and then you can just put a total on that column.
okay.
And then that's how it works.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, this is we just
So while you're listening, one of the comments that was made is they were really glad a computer can do this. So a computer can do this in seconds for what might take us a good 5 minutes to do with just this few of ballots. So just give us a few more minutes. Thank you.
video of how to go to Vineyard and now we're practicing. We're counting. But we're not counting. This is just pretend. This is our turn. Now, which one is this here? SU?
Oh, we were.
Oh, we were.
I also suggest when you're going to your next stage is that you put the votes that when you removed a school, put those underneath the one that they voted for next, so that you still know who's on top and which schools are which. You are, because what you're going to want to do.
So I did that here. So this is the 9. Yeah.
I just counted the amount of how many votes each got that night, I wasn't doing it.
We were only had one.
We were, oh, did they and mine?
First
Oh,
choice, they should have.
mine was different. I have Weaver,
My next choice
one,
might also.
first choice, and then rescue. Oh, no, Weaver had one. Oh, that's right, sorry. So these guys are automatically out,
Well,
right?
not yet, you're only gonna
First.
take the lowest vote getter first. You're gonna find out Weaver ballot and find out if they was Lynette.
So they voted for you.
You, and then give you another vote. That changes, but everybody else stays the same except for which you dropped off. So everybody else, I would write 9, 6, 3, 2 there.
So is this considered?
Okay, so now we're going to pick on. Now you're gonna find USQ. So the Weaver vote is now gone.
USU was the next
That
one.
one out.
Yeah.
So the Weaver vote will be
Like, I have my schools by how many they,
Yeah.
by the
So just
scores.
put this at the back of the you one and the middle one somewhere. Okay. So USU, their next one, this one is Weaver, so we're gonna go to the third one, which is UVA.
So that would be one.
There's one more, but then let's look at this one. Yep. Get one more. So hold on, then you have one more that we took off. The other one we reserved SU. They go 4. So then all the rest stay the same. So these only go into where the pile is happening. That makes it go to that. So Weaver, you know, is gone. You, this is the one you want.
Just see if it's right. Yeah. So we voted for the two. Oh, wait.
This is, I know they're doing it by paper too, so in case this is, they get a spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something to the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's your next vote? Is SU. So then you do the same thing and take votes and go from there next.
So you take the
All of the SU.
SU.
That's 4 votes.
So there's the next one.
Let's see if we get any more for that one.
Yeah.
Because this one, the next one is
SU, SUU is,
SUU, this one.
so we're looking at number 3, so you would be number 3.
Yeah.
So,
This one, there's another,
that was when SUU was first, so.
this was the UVU one that should have stayed. That was out of there. So this was SUU, USU,
Yeah.
so this one was current UVU. And then you have BYU, that one there. And this one goes to BU. And then this one goes to what?
So then I would have to go back and add,
Then you're gonna go back and add those ones into this column. But this is 10, I believe this is 11, and this is 7. It didn't have to go to that one. Once you get that 50%.
so and then SUU,
SUU is your next one. SUU you just got this up. So then you're gonna go to UVU will be your next one that you take off.
okay.
Anybody that voted for UVU.
And
Their next vote counts for one of these two.
okay, so then I go to the, so where I see UVU is number 1, which is you have a BYU,
How's it
you have a
going?
U of U, you
Good
have a
traffic?
BYU. You have a U of U, you have a BYU.
This is what we have tonight. So far, we're practicing counting the ballots. Cameron for the presentation. And maybe we'll play the video again.
UVU, okay, UVU, SUU.
Yeah, we're doing like.
Oh no, this is UVU, that one stays with UVU.
So, yeah, you can come with us, come over here, and she's gonna kind of explain. Anthony, do you know how this?
Yeah, I just finished up. Yeah.
Okay.
You should be good. UVU got two more.
So what we did was, Vineyard staff lives on what their favorite university is. So we're practicing
So
counting.
you got two more votes.
Counting all the votes. So tonight, we'll go to five or less. 7 is the university.
So,
Number
what was
one.
your percentage that you needed to have? 50% plus one vote.
So because we were
How
going to
many
they get.
$28. So it would be 16 plus.
So it goes to.
Oh, 14 plus what's 15, so that would be the winner.
Oh, then we recount everything.
That's great. So I was thinking, did you have city workers do this, or did you just mark them?
I had staff, no, I had staff. Staff actually.
Can I take these, kind of get a little bit of.
Yeah, no, that helps you, yeah.
I need to get the correct spelling of your name too.
Okay.
I don't know that I have.
So, how's it going over there? Sorry for those that were live streaming. This is the boring part.
So, on election day, how are the ballots?
Well, yeah, you fill in the.
I usually, every time I ask, unless I know what's
Yeah, rest assured, it won't be.
It won't be like this.
It'll be a mass
Yeah, for the staff.
It'll be
Way
like
for us to
four
learn the
people.
process.
Yeah.
Recounts.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, this would be the only one when the county all of them.
So, if BYU or anyone had gotten 15, because there's 20, they got 15. You don't have to.
Well, they'd be done, BYU would be first choice, right?
Right, oh yeah, yeah. Exactly. So, here,
I'm wondering where my photographer is going to be. Yeah, because that's. Yeah, I need that. I need that.
you can see what's in the ring on the side.
You can. Just let them keep working. Just get really close in, sideways, and look even their hands or whatever. But don't do that. No posing.
No.
Pretend like you're just doing your thing.
All right.
Okay.
She wants you to look natural, guys.
Look now.
Yeah, like you're doing.
So you can
Take about 3 or 4 of those, would you?
now look at
Yeah, that looks great. That's good.
I'll send it to myself.
So what point did they eliminate?
So you said you're gonna go to,
Well, did you eliminated Weaver after the first?
Yeah, whoever has the lowest.
Just alpha. Okay,
Are you
so
guys-
once it all votes tallied, ballots closed. Go through the second vote.
Okay. Let's go ahead and come back, and we'll go over here in just a second, and I'll explain some more things. And if you have further questions, I'd be happy to answer those about what you just counted. So, does anybody's look like mine? So, do you have BYU as the winner for this one?
We didn't do that next.
You didn't quite get that far, but that's okay. you're getting pretty close, right? And so I know a few of you have finished, a few of your groups are finished, so we'll go over this really quick. So the first time we had 28 total ballots, when 50% of that plus one gave us 15 votes that needed to win. The first time around count, we did not have a winner, so we removed Weber, which had one vote, and we redistributed that ballot to the next vote, so that upped U of U. Did I get that right? By one. Still didn't have a winner, so then we took the next one off, which was USU, and redistributed those ballots to their next choice, which upped UVU by a couple and SUU by one. Still no winner. So then we went to the next one, upped that by a little bit by redistributing SUU's votes. And then still didn't have a winner. So the last one we took off UVU, redistributed those, and then BYU pulled out ahead and won 15-13. So if you got that, then you've got it figured out, right? Anthony, you have a question? So Anthony asked if when the county releases results, will it have a table like this? I don't know. They are still trying to determine that. I like mine. Mine's so pretty. But I think I don't know yet. I don't know if they know yet. This last I heard, they didn't know yet. So any other questions? Yes?
Yeah. Why did Vineyard elect to do this method? I'm just curious. I don't know the history of it.
When it first came out and I first learned about it, I was pretty excited to hear what it was all about, to see what it was all about. I thought ranking the candidates was a great way to do it because me personally, there's a lot of times I voted against somebody. I didn't really care one way or another about the other candidates, but I knew I didn't want that person in. And so I was voting against him. So for me personally, this really hit home for me. And I said, wow, wait a minute. This is a way that I can say, hey, I like this person first, and not that person, and still have a say. When you have, in an election, what we call a traditional election, you just vote for your candidate, right? It's possible that somebody could win with 35% of the vote. So what does that mean with the rest of the people? How many is that? 65% of the people didn't want you, even though you won by 35% of the vote. So that was something I really thought about as well. And so what I did is I researched it. I worked on this. I spent a couple months going through why is this good, looking at other cities that had done this. Before I ever approached council, I didn't even approach them until the original deadline in December because we had to have something to the Lieutenant Governor's office by January 1 of 2019 to say if we were going to do it or not. Then we had the option of backing out. We had a back out deadline, but then when they visited the code that they'd passed in 2018, they said, let's extend that deadline. And so then we had an April 14th or 15th deadline. And so I brought it up one more time and council said, hey, you wanted to be able to revisit this. It's time. What are your thoughts on it? I gave this pretty similar arguments as to why I thought it'd be great to at least test it, to be one of those cities that did the pilot program. And they voted to go ahead and try it. I mean, everybody keeps saying we're the guinea pigs, and I said we're not. We're actually piloting this program. We're the front runners on it. It's not like hasn't been done in other states, in other countries even. They talk about that you do this when you're voting for where you want to go to eat. So, well, I like this place. Well, I like that place, and then I like that one second. So, so I think it's a great thing to test out. So, I don't think it's gonna hurt the election at all. And in fact, I think it'll help the election. And the other part of it is I cannot stand when they bash each other on the commercials, on their commercials that they do, and they're bashing each other. What have you done that's bad? What I want to see is say, hey, I know you like that person better, but vote for me second. And here, we have the same platform. We agree on the same things rather than saying how bad somebody was. And so that's what I was hoping to see as well, is a cleaner campaign. I can't say we're going to get a clean campaign, but I'd like to see a cleaner one. And I'd like to see this go on to the county elections for our state and federal representatives and things, so that we do get cleaner campaigns. So, but that's my opinion on it. But that's how I feel about it, and I really think it's a good choice. It's a good option to say, at the end of the day, more than 50% of the people really did vote for you. You might not have been their first choice, but they still voted for you. And so that you know that they wanted you in office. So, did I answer that? I can go on a rant if you want. Because I'm very passionate about elections, yes.
Have they indicated to you when the final vote tallies, right? With this new rate voting, is that are we gonna get some kind of tally on that night, or will it be
Okay.
the next couple of days?
Okay, so it was asked when we're actually going to get the tallies on the votes after the election's over. They will be releasing tallies just like they are for any other election, but really don't count on it where it's ranked choice, because if they get enough mailed ballots in after the fact, all bets are off. Those could all change. So I would say, yeah, you're in the lead and maybe you're not, but the final count will come on the 19th when we do the canvass. And because we're vote by mail, we have to wait those 14 days in order to canvass the election. Unless somebody wins by a landslide, and we get 2 winners by a landslide, and we know that we don't have that many ballots out, then we do need to wait till the 19th. So, yep. So, if there's no more questions on this piece of it, got another question?
Yeah, just really quick, is a ballot considered void if it's not completely filled in? Meaning, if I were to go through this process and I didn't feel like marking Weaver as my number 6 choice, has to be blank. Is that ballot counted, or is it?
Yeah. So he's asking if his ballot will be void if he doesn't completely fill in the whole ballot and vote for everyone. Earlier in our presentation, I did answer that question. So no problem. That's all right. So I will re-answer that question. Yes, your ballot still counts up until you run out of votes if the people you voted for weren't in the running to start with. So like in our little mock election here, Weber only had 1 vote. If that was yours and that was your only vote, then your ballot's done. It's called an exhausted ballot, and nothing else gets counted on that one. And that can actually, depending on how many of those we have, could change the percentage on how many votes somebody might need to win by. So because you take that ballot out of the running, so that number goes down. So does that help? Does that make more sense? Okay, great. Okay. Are you ladies over there ready for us? Okay, they just need another minute. So do I have any more questions? They're almost done. And then we're going to go to our results.
Do you have a ballot box that people can?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the question was, do we have ballot box? Yes. I actually have a ballot box in my office right now. But the cool part is we have a curbside ballot box, which is sitting out on the south side of the parking lot, which we're going to encourage our voters to use. We will have an election service center open on election day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you're welcome to bring your ballot in on that day. If you'd prefer not to put it in the mail, it'll be here in the council chambers, yes. And you're welcome to bring it here that day if you'd prefer not to put it in our locked box outside or in my locked box in my office. Yes?
We can also send it back in the mail without a stamp, correct?
Correct. That's a little unknown secret, but that's actually, we are paying for the return postage. It does say that on there. You don't have to stamp it. So the question, sorry, I forgot to tell you, the question that was asked is if you can return it in the mail without a stamp. Yes, we are paying the return postage. There was a couple years ago that I didn't pay the return postage, and guess what? The post office still delivered it without postage on it, so it was great. But that was back when I had a little bit smaller of a budget. So anyway, are we ready? Almost. Any more? Yep.
How many registered voters are there?
There are about 3,600 registered voters, give or take. Well, yeah, I think that's how many there were. I can look it up. If that's wrong, Janelle, I'll get you that back. Yeah. Then while we're waiting real quick, there will be a postcard going out, hopefully this week, to every door telling you about ranked choice voting. So we look for your postcard. Hopefully everybody will get one. because going to the apartments and to the townhomes and condos as well. So that'll be great as well as our single family homes. So
So can I ask you another question?
yes.
Is Lieutenant Governor's office watching this? Are they going to be observing or really curious about what happens?
Oh, they're very curious about what happens. They are actually helping us with our marketing campaign that's going on. If anybody hasn't heard, we've got lots of Facebook posts, lots of tweets going out almost daily on this ranked choice voting. We have a web page that I have linked from our web page, and I was going to tell you that at the end, but that's fine. I can tell you now that it's if you go to vineyardvotes.com, and Payson also has the same page as paysonvotes.com, so that, and it'll give you a lot of the information we've given you tonight, as well as link you to our community calendar, to our candidates. Make sure that when you do get your ballot, because like I said earlier, they are in the mail. You should be getting them any day. Make sure you're getting on our website or on the state website and reviewing the candidates' profiles and doing your homework. You can do it from the privacy of your own home, comfort of your recliner if you want, and look them up and vote who you feel is best. But remember that you're ranking them in the order that you feel you'd like to see them win, and that we do have 2 seats that are up for election. So are we ready, ladies? I've rambled enough. Okay, hold on. We're going to switch screens here, and we're going to turn the time over to Kelly and Chelsea.
Okay, so as you can see, we had 86 votes total, and that means to get 50% plus 1, the candidate would need 44 to win. So for our pizza election here, what we did, as you can see, Tenny's got the least number of votes in the first round, so they were eliminated in the second round. And then that one vote, their second choice was then added, which went to Main Street Pizza. So then they went from 3 to 4. And then all the others were the same. And then we just keep going with those. So Main Street Pizza, those 4 votes, their next vote was distributed to their candidates. And so on. We went through each round, eliminating the lowest vote getter. And as you can see, that if we have a tie, for example, in the second round, we had a tie between Main Street and Medici. And Main Street got the lowest number of votes in the first round, so they were the ones eliminated as the tiebreaker. And so for our first candidate winner was Two Jack's Pizza with 45 votes. And in the second round, that's what took us a little longer because we were doing this with paper. The computer will be much faster than this when they count the actual votes for city council candidates. We have our first winner. So what happens is for the second winner, you eliminate the first winner, all of their votes. You eliminate Two Jacks as a candidate. And then the ballots that had Two Jacks as their first choice, those ballots get added in with their second choice. So no matter if you vote for the winner, your second choice will still counts, of course. So that's what we did. We took out the Two Jacks 27 here and added them in to the second round. And then we eliminated the lowest vote getter, and then we took their next votes, and so on until we got our second winner, which was Brick Oven. So in our mock election for favorite local pizza parlor, the 2 winners were Two Jacks Pizza and Brick Oven.
Where did I put it? So if anybody wants to bring me pizza, you have your winners. Just kidding. No. So, whoops. Do we have any more questions for tonight? Are we good on all the questions? I know you had a lot. Yeah, then you got another one?
So ballots are in the mail, but if someone were to register now, would they still get a mail-in ballot or would they need to come in person?
Yeah, so the question was the ballots are in the mail, but if somebody were to register now, would they still get one in the mail? It is possible they would still get one in the mail, but they do have some options that they can do. If they choose to wait, they can come to an election service center and actually register here. And if you're already registered and you didn't change your address or something, you can actually do that here as well on that day. They will actually just update that. It won't be a provisional ballot. Some fun things that maybe you don't know is that if you do come to the election service center and you will still get a paper ballot. So that's important to know that when you come, you're not going to vote on a machine unless you have a special need. Okay, but you will still get a paper ballot, but the cool part is you get to run it through the printer, which will tally it there and it'll drop it into a locked bin. And this is the only place that you will know if you've done something incorrect on your ballot and that it's kicked it out. Because otherwise, if you've done something incorrect on your ballot and it kicks it out that you've mailed in, you can't tell who voted because it is a secret ballot. So, but yes, you can still register to vote online or go in person down to the county anytime you want. The county is the only location, county offices, that will have early voting. And don't quote me on those dates right this second, but I want to say it's the 21st through the 4th, give or take, in there. So you can look on the county website, though, and they will let you know those dates. And I apologize, I've drawn a blank. So, but like I said before, you can drop your ballot in the mail. You can drop it here at our curbside 24/7 service on that, or you can bring it into the office and Kelly or I will accept those ballots. Yes.
Just from what I've understood from Amelia at the county, that it doesn't matter where you vote.
Oh, yes. So what statement was is that it doesn't matter where you vote, and you'll see that anywhere on on the website, anything I put out. You can vote anywhere in Utah County. It is so cool. If you're at work and you know there's an election service center and you say, oh, I forgot to take my ballot, drop my ballot in the mail and it's election day, you can run over and do it during work. And guess what? The state passed a law that says they have to allow you to go vote. Your work has to allow you to go vote. So, but the key thing is, though, is vote early. Once you get that ballot, research your candidates and get that back in the mail so you don't forget to do it, so you don't accidentally throw it away. Don't throw away your envelope. But if you do, bring it down here on election day or take it to the county and say, hey, I need a new envelope. Bring it down here, run it through the machine. Those types of things can happen as well. County probably has a machine also that they'll just let you run it through if you've already voted it, or if you want to stay and vote and run it through that. But that's during early voting on that piece of it, okay, or on election day here. But like I said, don't throw your envelope away, don't throw your ballot away, don't sign somebody else's. What else have I got on my website that I can tell you? I've put about as much information on there as I can think of, so don't put two in an envelope. Don't put two ballots in an envelope because they need to verify your signature on the ballot that you filled out. Okay, you have a question?
Preview of what the ballot will look like in terms of like, is it the candidate's name with 6 bubbles? You probably remember this.
You're fine. The question is do we have what our actual ballot will look like? There's a sample ballot posted on the website, as well as I believe I linked one to Facebook. There's one posted upstairs on our bulletin board. There's one here in the PowerPoint as well. So that is the actual ballot there with who the candidates are, and that is unfortunately as big as it gets. And as I stated before, remember to turn your ballot over and vote on the wrap tax, because we need people's opinion on that, okay? Any more questions? I can tell you a little bit more about the wrap tax. I can tell you what the question is. The wrap tax is the Recreation, Arts, and Parks tax. It's 0.1%. It's like a penny to every $10 spent on sales tax. So anybody that shops in Vineyard will pay that. If you shop in Orem, you shop in, well, it's Provo, Spanish Fork, Lehigh, or is it Lehigh? Anyway, don't quote me on all the cities. But anyway, if you shop in any of those cities that have a care tax or a wrap tax or a park tax, you are paying that 0.1%. You're paying that penny to your $10. So it's very minimal amount. It will go to help fund care of the parks or nonprofit organizations that have anything to do with arts or theater, different things like that. That'll also be on there, and all those types of things will be listed on the ballot. Did you get a pamphlet in the mail? Okay, a pamphlet went out on the. If you're only to registered voters, but the pamphlet is also went out in the newsletter. Do you get our newsletter emailed to you? Okay, you got that email today. Okay, yeah. If you get those emails, you get the newsletter, and the wrap text pamphlet was attached to that. So if you go back to that one that was sent out the first week in October, you'll be able to click on that and you can read that whole pamphlet. It does detail out what it can be used for, what it is. It's got the council's for argument on there. There were no against arguments submitted, and it does give you all that information on there. So if you can find that, if not, you're welcome to go to the website. I also have it posted on the website. Go to the 2019 election page, and there's a link to that there. Yes, if you want one now, I have a few copies upstairs already, so you're welcome to do that as well. That's for the ranked choice voting one. The regular website is vineyardutah.org. We changed that. vineyardutah.org is the regular website, and there's some tabs at the top. If you hover over the government one, you will be able to see the election page and click on that, and you can click on the 2019 one, and it's there as well. A lot of information. I also have the link to that Vineyard Votes one on there also. Do we have any more questions? Okay. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to call me. Oh, where did it go? I just got right out of it or something. Sorry about that. I got out of that somehow. So, don't make anybody dizzy. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to call me. This is my direct line into my office, the 385 number. Or feel free to call the county elections at the 851-8128 number. And I appreciate you coming tonight. Thank you so much. If you have any further questions, just let me know. Thank you.